Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Emily. This is my channel, Books for Life. So today I'm here to do my January wrap-up part 2, and to start, I want to tell you that I don't always look this good. But I had my makeup trial today for my wedding, and I got my makeup professionally done, and then we had our engagement photos. So I thought that since I have all of this makeup on, I should film a video. So, don't get used to this glamour because it won't always be here. But I'm so excited with how it turned out. I think it looks great. I think it will look great on the day. And oh my gosh, our engagement photo session was so much fun. We went to a library for part of it, and the other part was outside, but the library photos I think are going to be so cute. So at some point I'll do like a whole video on our engagement shoot at the library. So I already filmed part 1. So part 1, I talked about A Heart and a Body in the World by Deb Coletti, Christina Lauren, Twice in a Blue Moon, Gods of Jade and Shadow by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, the Air Awakens series, books 1, 2, and 3. So Air Awakens by Elisa Kova, Fire Falling, book number 2, and Earth's End, book number 3. If you're interested in hearing more of my thoughts on those books, definitely check out my part 1. So today I'm going to start with the book that I buddy read. So I read this with Sasha from Well Read and Half Dead. Definitely check out her channel. I had so much fun buddy reading with her. We used Voxer so we could like communicate that way, like the walkie-talkie way, as opposed to like typing everything out, and that just makes it really easy, and we had such a great time. And we read The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. So I was a little underwhelmed with this. I thought it would be more vampire-y than it was. Like, I thought the beginning was really interesting, like the first 120 pages or so really captured my attention, and then I think it kind of fell flat from there. The plot twist at the end I did not anticipate, so that was good. To be honest, there's one part of the ending that I have to go back and verify. Like, I'm struggling to remember. So I feel like since I just read this and there are pieces of this that I'm struggling to remember, that is sad. I don't think that this is a book that in a year I really will be able to tell you much about the plot, because it's just so unmemorable. I don't think I will read the second one. I thought it was fine. I think I gave it 3 stars, but I could probably drop that down to 2.5. But I needed more. It felt like it was lacking for me. There wasn't as much action, and I was expecting there to be more like paranormal activity than there was. I think it had a lot of potential, but it just didn't quite reach it. The next book I read in 2 days, and that is Normal People by Sally Rooney. This is another Book of the Month pick. I really hammered my Book of the Month picks. I got 3 done in 1 month. Like, that's really impressive for me. So Normal People I thought was fine. So this is supposed to be like a coming of age story. You follow these 2 different characters. It's dual perspective, which I really enjoy. You follow Connell and Marianne, and in high school they live very different lives. Marianne is extremely wealthy and is also an outcast at school. She really doesn't have any friends, and she isolates herself. She's definitely more of an introvert. People really don't even give her a chance. And then you have Connell, who is on the different sports teams and is really well liked and very popular, and he's quiet, but he gets along with everybody. And his mother is actually the maid for Marianne. So his mom cleans there, I think, once or twice a week, and Connell has to go and like pick her up because she doesn't have a car. She takes the public transportation. So he goes and picks her up, and this helps Connell and Marianne to form like a friendship. They end up going off to college together, and their paths keep crossing, and you see like this relationship ebb and flow, and you follow them throughout all of college. This definitely has some trigger warnings. There's depression and anxiety and suicide, domestic abuse, so be cautious if that is a trigger for you. You will come across those things. It was good. I think I gave it 3 stars. It made like some top lists for the year, which I don't know if I would rate it that high. I mean, I didn't rate it 5 stars, but I thought it was fine. I think it was a great coming of age story. I don't feel comfortable putting this in my classroom. I think this is definitely more new adult than YA. So this is one that I think just had a little bit too mature content that I don't think that I need to put in my classroom or expose my kids to. It's like, they picked it up on their own, that'd be one thing, but I don't think it's something I'm going to like put in front of them. That's what I thought. So the last audiobook that I read was Water's Wrath, and this was the 4th book in the Air Awakens series. So I read the other 3 earlier this month. I'll be reading the 5th one during February. I think this is one of those series that starts off, pretty good. Like, I thought book 1 was the best and book 2 was second three is just like, meh. It's just like going downhill. So if you hate books that like get worse as they go through, don't read this series because it definitely does. Sorry. And I like look on Goodreads and some people rate this like 5 out of 5 and they're like, this is the best thing, like she's a mastered storyteller, and I'm like, this is definitely a very character-driven story. So if that's what you're here for, if you just want to like fall in love with characters and get to know them and like be friends with them, then like maybe this would be more for you. I like a healthy mix of character development plus action, and I think she's too repetitive. Like she would repeat the same thing in 4 different ways 5 times, you know, throughout. Like I sometimes like repeat directly, you know, like I don't need to read the same thing multiple times to get it. And she makes connections that the reader could easily make on her own. Like you don't have to point every little thing out. Let the reader interpret this and make those connections. Because if you're just like, oh, remember back in the beginning part when this happened, it's like, yeah, I know, I do remember. Like, let me think for myself. It left on a cliffhanger, which I always appreciate. But we spend like a huge chunk of the text just like dealing with this one person being sick, and it's like they're still sick and they're still sick and they're still sick, and we're sitting by their bedside and they're still sick, and it's like, yep, I know, they're still sick. Yep, how long are they going to be sick for? It's like, I don't know. So that was my thinking on that. It definitely went downhill. I don't know, maybe I'd give it 2.5 stars out of 5. Like, it's fine. I am invested in this and I'm going to finish this series. I think it would be silly for me not to, but if I had to wait a long time, like if I didn't have the series all back to back to back on Audible, I wouldn't keep going. If I had to buy it again, like, so I got all 5 of these books with 1 credit. If I had to purchase them separately, I would not have listened to book 4 or book 5. The next physical book that I read during the month of January was Winterwood by Shay Earnshaw, and this was another letdown. I really liked her first book better, The Wicked Deep. I mean, this definitely was atmospheric. It had like the good vibes and all of that fun stuff, but it was lacking a little bit for me. It was, you know, mysterious, atmospheric. It had witches and magic and stuff, and it had like a dark woods, and that was cool. They like personified the woods, which I always appreciate, but I felt like it could have been even darker than it was. It was fine. You know, it's 3 stars. It was just an average read for me. So the last book that I read during the month of January was The Bone Mercies by April Genevieve Tocholke. I actually enjoyed this more than I thought I would after reading some reviews online. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. This is a YA fantasy, and you follow these 4 women who are mercies. And mercies here, they are typically women and they deal in the death trade. So they travel from village to village and they kind of have like an area that they like keep circling each year. And when somebody is sick or dying, you can pay a mercy to come and give them the ultimate mercy. They can kill them and help like relieve their suffering. And so these 4 young women travel together, and that is what they do. That is how they make a living. They hear about this beast that is attacking this village like quite a ways away. So they decide that they want to get out of the death trade and they want to become warriors. So they travel across the lands to Blue V, the village, and their goal is to kill the beast. Along the way, they join up with a few other mercies. They have an adventure with them. They meet the sea witches. There's this cut queen that they call, and they have a run-in with her. And so you just like follow them on this journey as they try to find glory and try to leave death behind. And I wouldn't say this is like a very profound book in any way. It has a pretty predictable plot line. I did like the characters a lot. I liked the world, and I think that there are other standalones that take place in the same world. So I think I would continue reading other books in the same world. I thought it was enjoyable. It captured my attention. Like, I only finished it in a couple of days, and I think it was fine. I love the cover. I really love the cover. So overall, this was a solid 4 read for me. So I read a total of 11 books this month, and I'm really happy with that, especially because my December was not that good. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. I'll be back with a bookish video soon. As always, keep reading.